Hey everyone, welcome. I'm going to try and pick up the Indivisible stream for Ice Out for Good rally and vigil. Their Tyranny Tuesday series. I see they're set to go live in about 12 minutes. So we're gonna wait for them. I hope you've all seen the latest video that that Doug put up about the family who protected a DoorDash delivery person from the ICE agents that chased her down, and she ran into their home, scared out of her wits. Okay, let's see if I can get this added to the screen. There we go. Okay. Doug is very busy today. I don't think he'll be joining us, but maybe a couple of our other from the research writing team will join us. Maybe Casper's around. Let's hope. Okay, we still have 11 minutes before they go live. Let me see what else I can play here in the meantime. Good old Greg Bovino told Fox News that the protests are basically just cannon fodder in the way. Hang on. Okay. I just threw that thumbnail up fast. It's not up to our usual standards. Okay, here it is. Little Greg Bovino tells Hannity murdered peaceful protesters are expendable cannon fodder. And I say Lieu in a French accent, Ted Lieu, congressman, slams ICE Commander Greg Bovino's comments on Renee Good. People are not cannon fodder. Okay, the original one is with Jesse Dollimore.
Just uniforms and shit like he's in with the Hannity. He's never served in the military. He's a wannabe. A wannabe. Never will be. Watch this thing from Target.
Oh, you fucking bum. Fucking bum. You're a bitch. And if your wife is out, probably fuck her too. You guys are all bitches. You can't do shit to me. You can't do a thing to me. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Nobody fucking wants you here. Right. Get the fuck out. Walk the fuck out, you stupid bitches. Get the fuck out of here. You dumb. The fuck out of here. You fucking coward. You're a fucking coward bitch. You're a fucking bitch. Hold on, baby. I'm on the phone with these bitch ass niggas. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid bitches. You're a fucking coward piece of shit. Fuck you. And if you didn't have a gun or a badge, I would beat the shit out of you. Take that fucking badge off and that fucking gun and see what happens. You shut the fuck up. Grab that fucking tongue. You're a bitch. Get the fuck out, you fucking pussy. You fucking bitch ass white boys. I'll fucking spit on you. Fucking get out of here. Get the fuck out. Fuck out of here. Fuck out.
Stay back. Stay back. Stay back.
Fuck off.
Stay back.
Easy. Easy. Let go. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you.
Well, that's one more reason not to shop at Target, allowing bathroom breaks for the fascists. They're also, it's a propaganda operation. I've been talking about it both when I was in Minneapolis, but also since I've been back, that they have cameras embedded in their helmets. Sometimes they have multiple cameras on their chest. All this footage is going to be used for monitoring protesters, monitoring resistors, but also to create propaganda for the Homeland Security Department. You saw the masked secret police force guy with his camera. I guess he's on the social media team. He's not out there cracking skulls. He's too weak for that even. And if you ask Greg Bovino about what the cause of the violence is, what the cause of the murder at the hands of ICE agents is, he'll tell you it's the rhetoric. It's people like me who are causing agents to draw their weapons and pull the trigger multiple times on peaceful protesters in the city of Minneapolis.
But I think they're creating an environment where they're putting your lives at risk. And I think more agents will get hurt, more individuals will get hurt as a result. Am I wrong? Do you connect the rhetoric to the violence?
Sean, that's perfectly stated. Absolutely. That rhetoric does cause the violence. We've heard those elected representatives, as you've said, say some very terrible things about law enforcement, about federal agents, and that's reflected in what you see by that vocal minority out on the streets. And they actually take...
So you tell a pig he's a pig and you die. Okay, got it.
Those elected representatives say, and they put it into action. And that's too bad because they're being set up. They're almost like cannon fodder, Sean. Those elected representatives and those so-called community leaders and social media influencers, they don't care if these individuals get hurt or killed. They're after a reaction. And I'll tell you what, our law enforcement officers here in Minneapolis and across the United States do a fantastic job in dealing with this every day. A lot of restraint and professionalism, as you can see on display.
Restraint professionalism.
Two things. One, your protests will cause us to murder you, he says. That's what rhetoric does cause violence. Words, rhetoric, does cause violence. Your words cause us to kill you. That's what he's saying. Your words cause us to brutalize you. He's taken an oath to the Constitution. And in that Constitution, we have the First Amendment, our freedom of speech, our freedom to assemble, our freedom to redress our government of our grievances. And he says doing that will cause us to harm you. And then the other thing there that I think is the most alarming aspect of all of that was said, I got one more clip, but all that was said on Hannity last night is that protesters are almost like cannon fodder. If you don't know, here's Merriam-Webster. We'll be referring to Merriam-Webster another time today.
Still Merriam.
Cannon fodder from Merriam-Webster. Soldiers regarded or treated as expendable in battle. So he believes that Renee Good was expendable. Any protester who uses their rhetoric is expendable. Easily able to just be killed, to be discarded. They're going to tell you who they are, and when they do, believe them. This is why I say Democrats should not, and there will be consequences if you do, vote for legislation that benefits the agenda of Donald Trump, that advances the agenda of Donald Trump. You don't vote for his motherfucking nominees. You don't vote for Jared Kushner's dad to be the ambassador of Paris, Cory Booker.
Great.
When asked about ICE, you don't make justifications. Oh, yeah, we need ICE, but we just need them to do their job right, Amy Klobuchar. Get with the program. Understand where we are in America. We're losing our republic to a fascist, to a violent secret police force. And if you wonder how Greg Bovino, you probably don't have to wonder, but if you are out there just like, I wonder, curious, I wonder what Greg Bovino thinks about the killing of Renee Good, the murder of Renee Good. Who's he going to take up the side of? Yeah, the bit's not working, obviously. In this clip, he says, hats off to Jonathan Ross. Hats off for killing Renee Good.
Oh, I could see that, but you know what? The rhetoric keeps getting ratcheted up, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And you know, now we've had an opportunity to look at that video. There is no ambiguity for anyone with eyes to see that the individual that ended up getting shot in this case had been taunting officers along with her partner for an extended period of time, and then you hear her partner say to drive. She goes in reverse and right in the path of an officer.
There you go. She goes in reverse.
Now, is that justified use of force? To me, it's not even a close call.
Sean, we call that means, intent, and opportunity. Did that individual have the intent? Look at those minutes leading up to the shooting, and we will see what I would consider some pretty important intent. Did that individual have the opportunity? Yes. Did that individual take that opportunity? Yes. A 4,000-pound missile is not something anyone wants to face, especially in a split-second decision-making process in a very already inhospitable environment. Hats off to that ICE agent. I'm glad he made it out alive. I'm glad he's with his family.
Hats off to that ICE agent.
Take the mask off.
A man who was so ashamed of what he did for a living, he told his neighbors he was a botanist. An expert in working with plants. That's what he told his neighbors.
Wow.
Because they're ashamed of what they do. They're afraid of what people will think of them. Because at their root, they're all like their half pint leader, their little mini-me leader, their fascist wannabe military guy, but couldn't hack it, Greg Bovino, Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, Stephen Miller, all of these assholes. They want to be this so badly, but they just, weakness. But hats off to him for taking the life of an innocent woman who was peacefully there in the streets, turning her wheel away from him as he was filming with one hand and firing his weapon with the other. Total control, totally following all of his training and the regulations for behavior of discharging a firearm. Yeah. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. We can have it in the comments below the video. Wherever you're watching it, you can call me on my...
Okay, I'm keeping an eye on the Indivisible stream, and it isn't starting yet. Oh, nope. Says it's starting at 5:15, and it's 5:15 now. They haven't started yet. So let's see what Ted Lieu responded to Bovino. Let's see what he's had to say.
Thank you, Chairman Aguilar. My prayers go out to Renee Good and to her family and friends. She was a U.S. citizen, a Christian, and a mother of three. This tragedy was completely preventable. And I asked the federal government to cooperate with local and state officials who are doing investigations. We need to have fair and transparent investigations. And when federal officials do not cooperate with state and local officials in the investigation, it leads American people to think, what are you hiding? Are you covering something up? So for full transparency, we need everyone to cooperate to get to the bottom of what happened. And I also asked ICE leaders and the administration to tone down the rhetoric. ICE Commander Greg Bovino last night made a post that essentially called protesters, quote, cannon fodder. He needs to delete that post or he needs to resign. The American people are not cannon fodder. We have the absolute First Amendment right to witness what ICE is doing publicly, to film what ICE is doing publicly, to photograph what ICE is doing publicly. We are protected by the Constitution, and if Greg Bovino and the administration doesn't turn on the rhetoric, it's going to cause more people to get killed. Now I'd like to talk about Venezuela. Donald Trump posted that he is the acting president of Venezuela. Now I want to tell you what a great job the acting president of Venezuela is doing, because the U.S. Embassy this weekend literally sent out a warning notice asking all Americans to evacuate immediately because the United States government cannot keep Americans safe in Venezuela. There are roving militias going around trying to find U.S. citizens. And the reason the acting president of Venezuela, Donald Trump, sucks at running Venezuela is because he sucks at running the United States of America. Healthcare costs are skyrocketing, food prices are increasing, and we have energy prices like electricity surging in many places. We asked Donald Trump to be the president of America, not the president of Venezuela.
Okay. So I'm still waiting for the Indivisible rally to go live. They're going to be outside of the Customs and Border Patrol in Washington. U.S. Customs and Border Protection offices there. And I'm not sure what the holdup is, but we're waiting patiently. Let's see. ICE agents hold pastor at gunpoint. Let's watch this.
As I arrived at church yesterday, I noticed that there was something going on just a block and a half from the church. And so I grabbed my whistles because we're used to doing that. And I went down to see what was going on, and I realized it was an ICE raid, and there were many, many protesters. So I joined the protesting, and before I knew it, I saw ICE agents circling a young woman who appeared to be Hispanic. And so I approached her, and we were at that point chanting, "We are not afraid, we are not afraid, go out of our state, we are not afraid." And I said to this ICE agent, "Take me, stop harassing her, take me." The agent came, got in my face, pointed a gun at me, and said, "Are you afraid now?" To which I said, "I am not afraid." The next thing I knew, they were putting handcuffs on me, and they put me in the back of an SUV. They came back 3 times, and they asked me if I was afraid yet. To which I replied, "Hell no, I'm not afraid of you, and I'm never going to be afraid of you." The third time when they came back, they asked for my identification. They asked for my cell phone. I asked them if I was under arrest. They didn't answer. And then they said to me, "Well, you're white. You won't be any fun anyway. You can get out of the car." I was astounded to experience and see such blatant racism and the effects that this is having on our community.
This is senior pastor at All God's Children Church, Reverend Kenny Callahan.
The reason that that pastor had that experience at the hands of these people is because these people are these people, and these people are these people, and these people are these people, right?
Here we go.
Damn.
All right.
Hey, I'm here.
Glad you could join me, Al.
Hello.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Is the audio back on Okay. Thank-
Fuck, I don't know.
Carl,
Can
you
you,
can't hear it?
can you
Oh,
hear me?
shit. Okay, hang on.
What, Katie?
I'm going to reload it. Sorry about that. Hang on just a sec. Coming right up. Okay now? Just a second.
Ice out for good.
Can you hear it now?
Ice out for good. Y'all,
Wow, way loud, but
y'all,
yeah, take care of that.
he was a mom of 3 who had just dropped off her kid at school, and she did the most human thing you can imagine. She saw her community in distress, and she decided to exercise her constitutional rights to come to their aid. And they shot her in the face 3 times for it and labeled her a terrorist. Shame, 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 shame. They called her a terrorist. Message to you all. That's why they called her a terrorist. They know who she is. She is one of the millions of people in America over the last year who have been protesting against a fascist takeover of our government. Are we with her? Are we going home? Are we intimidated? You know what? Everybody here has something in common with the people of Minneapolis then, because I heard from Indivisible Twin Cities leader Lisa. You know what she said? She gave me a message. I'm going to read you that message. It's not that long. We're not giving up. We're not going away. We're not intimidated by them. Are we intimidated by them? Are we going to stand up and fight for our community, for our neighbors, for our democracy? Are we going to let this agency get away with murdering Americans in the streets? You're damn right we're not. What are we here to do? We're here to express outrage, right? We're outraged. That is our job as Americans, to be outraged at this injustice. That's the power we have. But the good news is there's a lot more power out there. There are people in positions of power that can do more than express outrage. We have elected officials who can do something, and we have a message for them. Do something. Do something. Do something. It is not our job as everyday Americans to write regulations or pass laws or devise a legal strategy. That's their job. Our job is to be outraged. Their job is to act. Do something. Do something. Do something. Do something. We are going to hear from a few of the elected officials who are on our side tonight, and they're going to tell us what they're going to do. Are we going to back them up? Are we going to back them up?
Yeah.
Are we backing them up?
Yeah.
You're damn right we are. But before we get there, I want to turn the mic over. We've got a great lineup here to talk about the moment we're in and what we're doing next. And first, I want to welcome Paul Rauschenbusch from the Interfaith Alliance up to share some of his thoughts with us right now.
Dang, where's my noisemakers?
Good evening. My name is Reverend Paul Brandeis Rauschenbusch. I'm a Baptist minister. I'm the president of Interfaith Alliance, and I am one of the thousands of faith leaders across the country from every background and tradition who are showing up and speaking out against ICE's lawless operation and President Trump's abuse of power. Before I offer my remarks, we will honor the life of Renee Nicole Good and the lives of all those killed by DHS brutality and in ICE detention. Please join me in a moment of silence. May the memory of all those who have died be a blessing and inspire us to work for a future in which America is free from the cruelty, violence, and abuse by ICE that led to their deaths. All across America, people of faith and moral conscience are in a state of heartbreak and outrage as we see our families torn apart, communities invaded, and our neighbors abducted. We are experiencing a pastoral emergencies as unidentified masked agents terrorize our homes, our shops, our schools, and our houses of worship. These abuses are being fueled by a blasphemous co-opting of my faith by adherents of a white Christian nationalist agenda. The Department of Homeland Security has even co-opted the Bible in videos and ads to bless its cruelty with a twisted and extreme interpretation of faith that targets the most vulnerable among us, in particular, those who are not white and those who are not Christian.
I like this guy.
Let me be clear from my faith and the core of my being, ICE's ruthless and unhinged campaign is an affront to the divine commandments to love our neighbor and to welcome the stranger. We cry out to the leadership and the foot soldiers of the Department of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Repent of the violence in your hearts. Repent of the harm of your hands and turn back towards decency, democracy, and love. We in the faith community today demand that our political leaders end these reckless immigration raids, and we oppose any bill that would add to ICE's already massive budget.
And they want a how much? $50,000 bonus now?
Make no mistake, faith leaders and religious communities are committed and mobilized. All across the country, we the people are showing up to counter ICE's brutality with the moral power of nonviolent peaceful protest. We will counter chaos with community, confront partisanship with patriotism, and dispel dystopia by insisting on an American future free of fascism, in which we might all live together freely without hate and fear. May we live into the sacred promise that out of many, from every background, race, religion, or status,
Welcome, Sky.
we might truly be one. May God grant us the courage to hold on to what is good, look deep within our hearts, choose love, not ICE. ICE out for good.
ICE out for good.
ICE out now. ICE out now. ICE out now. Hey, folks, we've been talking about the importance of expressing outrage, of expressing remorse, of expressing appreciation for people all over the country who are showing up. That is our job. But the good news is we have allies who have power themselves. Some of them have a job in the U.S. Senate. And one of those allies on the forefront of this fight right now is Senator Chris Murphy.
Thank you, Ezra.
Went past a sign.
Good evening, Patriots.
Trump traitor with a diaper over his face.
I have a feeling that you are here because you want to speak truth to power. Am I right? And so we're going to talk tonight about a lot of hateful, divisive things that are happening in this country that we are against,
in the toilet.
that we
I get it
deem
now.
to stop. But let's take a moment to remember what we are for. We are for a nation that is defined by immigrant communities, correct? We are for the millions of jobs in this country that are created and staffed by our immigrant, correct? We are for the vast cultural and social reservoirs that are created in this nation by the contributions of millions of immigrants, correct? This is a nation that is defined by our immigrant present and by our immigrant future. And we are not going to let this president rewrite the basic foundational strength of the United States of America, which is a nation of immigrants. But let's be clear what the stakes of this moment. Let me be clear what the stakes of this moment are.
Yikes, that audio's bad.
There we go.
I feel better now.
And let me be clear about our work ahead of us. The United States Congress should not fund a Department of Homeland Security that is not obeying the laws of the United States of America.
We don't have taco trucks here in Canada that I've seen, but I would stand with them too.
Every day, this Department of Homeland Security is not making our communities more safe. It is making us less safe. They are in our cities not to protect us, not to enforce the laws, but to seek out confrontation and chaos. It is not too much to ask for the Congress to say this: if we are going to fund the Department of Homeland Security, we want to fund an agency that is simply complying with the law.
They're still wearing a mask, even though they were told not to.
And so I deeply appreciate the fact that you are here putting pressure on your elected officials to do the right thing, to use this moment to make sure that if we are going to add our votes to fund this department, that we are not funding a level of lawlessness, a level of inhumanity that is putting every single one of our neighbors at risk. So this is important that you are here. Your voices are important at this moment. And I'm so glad to be here with many of my colleagues who are engaged in this fight together. But let me also say this to you. Understand why the President of the United States is trying to turn this nation against each other, trying to convince us that we have something to fear from our neighbors. He is trying to tell you, he is trying to convince you that immigrants are the greatest threat to our democracy, to hide the fact that Donald Trump is the greatest threat to our democracy.
Yes. A fucking Russian.
He wants us to be at war with each other, fearing our neighbors, in conflict in our communities, as a distraction from the fact that every single day he is stealing from the American people.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most corrupt White House in the history of this country. And so our job has to be to both walk and chew gum at the same time, to stand up and protect our immigrant communities, to demand that ICE act in a lawful way, but at the same time to expose the most corrupt administration in the history of this country. I believe that we can do both of those things at the same time. So we are here to tell you that there is no anger, there is no anxiety, there is no fury that you feel about the violence that is being brought to our cities that cannot be addressed by political action. You should demand that your government does better. You should demand that we make sure that this appropriations process is used to make ICE comply with the law. And also, and I see a lot of signs out there, not one additional dime for ICE in this budget.
Set them off.
Those are not unreasonable things to ask. Those are not unreasonable things to demand, that ICE comply with the law, that DHS complies with the law, that we don't expand the scope of this operation.
Impeach
but it
no
will
one.
only happen with your
Jail,
voices,
Coleman.
with your presence, and with your votes. And so I am here to say thank you for the time that you are spending on behalf of this nation, on behalf of the vital project of making sure that we stand up for our immigrant communities, and we make sure that if we are putting dollars on the table for the Department of Homeland Security, it is only in service of a department that complies with the law. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
ICE. Defund ICE. Hey, y'all. There are a lot of senators in the U.S. Senate. If your senator isn't coming to speak here tonight, maybe call up your senator tomorrow and ask, where the hell is he? Where the hell is she? Why aren't you fighting for us right now? I have the pleasure to introduce one of those senators who is fighting for us. Many of you might have seen this video last year. You have been asking representatives to actually stand up to this regime, to put their own bodies on the line. This video was shocking when Senator Alex Padilla confronted this regime and they tackled him to the ground. I want to hear what he has to say. Senator Alex Padilla.
Thank you all for being here. Let me start just by asking today what I asked back then. If that's how this administration responds to a senator with a question, imagine what they're doing when the cameras aren't on in every corner of the country. Because we see what's happening when the cameras are on, right? But if that's how fearful this administration is of one person with a question, imagine how fearful they are when they see gatherings like this, when they see marches on No King's Day, and when they see us all go to the ballot box this November.
And don't let them steal the voting machine.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So I too want to say what
Have
Chris
a
Murphy
backup
said,
plan, for God's
everything
sake.
he said. That's just the starting point. And I too want to thank you all for being here, because by being here, it tells me, it tells the White House and everybody in this administration that we refuse to be silent. We will continue to stand up. We will continue to speak out. We will continue to speak the truth because we see the truth with our own eyes. We're not going to fall for their lies, their distortions, their attempts to rewrite history.
Okie doke.
They don't want us to believe what we see with our own eyes. What we've been saying for the better part of a year now. An administration out of control, ICE agents, Border Patrol agents, relentless in their cruelty and their aggressiveness in communities like Los Angeles and Chicago and Portland and now Minneapolis and beyond. What they're doing is not law enforcement, it's intimidation. What they're doing isn't about safety. It's about scaring communities. What they're doing isn't even about accountability. It is nothing other than an abuse of power, and we're not going to stand for it. I'm offended. I'm outraged by what we've seen ICE and CBP in schools, in churches, in hospitals, creating fear and terror in our community. And especially what we saw last week in Minneapolis, a community that knows all too well what it's like when those who are sworn to uphold the law abuse their power. Untold pain. And we've all seen it, an ICE agent killing a United States citizen. And let's say her name, Renee Nicole Good, a citizen, a mother, in my opinion, a patriot, doing nothing other than lawfully observing immigration enforcement operations. She should be alive today. And to try to prevent more tragedies, we have championed reforms, not just through the appropriations process, as Senator Murphy has outlined, but with legislation like the Visible Act. No more agents without identification hiding behind masks coming out of unmarked cars. We are better than that. And how about the Accountability for Federal Law Enforcement Act? Because if this Department of Justice won't hold law enforcement officers accountable to make sure they act within policy, then let the citizens bring about lawsuits to seek accountability. Because it shouldn't take more videos to go viral. It shouldn't take more killings and assaults. It shouldn't take more of the abuse of power than we've seen, because our demands are simple. ICE out of schools, ICE out of hospitals, ICE out of churches. No more terrorizing our neighborhoods. We demand accountability for federal law enforcement officers. We demand justice. We demand justice and respect for civil rights and the Constitution for everybody in America. Thank you all for being here.
Good shot of the crowd. I wonder how many they have there today. I hope it's thousands.
ICE out now. ICE out now. ICE out now. Can I tell you one of the frustrating things over the last year or so, as Trump built up his secret police force, as he started deporting Americans overseas, what we saw from some members of the Democratic establishment was, that's inconvenient. We don't like that. That's a loser issue for us. We shouldn't be talking about that. Let's try to ignore it. Now, in one of the worst periods of this moment, as the regime was deporting Americans to a gulag in a foreign country, we saw one senator stand up and say, fuck that. We're not going to accept that. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to get my constituent back, Mr. Abrego Garcia. That senator goes by the name of Senator Chris Van Hollen. Please welcome him.
I'd be in favor of the Mussolini.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Ezra. Thank you, American patriots all. Thank you to Indivisible and Move On, who have organized this, and to all of you for answering the call to protect our Constitution and protect our democracy when they're under assault by a lawless president. Are we going to make sure that we overcome? Are we going to make sure that we, the people, prevail? You bet we are.
Hey,
that is why all of you are here. And one of the most lawless, one of the most obscene examples of this administration's abuse against the people of this country
is what's happening at the Department of Homeland Security and ICE. They lie. They have no respect for the truth. They send mass people out into neighborhoods all over the country. These are people like Kristi Noem, directed by people like Stephen Miller, people like J.D. Vance, who was lying through his teeth the other day, and of course headed by the liar-in-chief, the lawbreaker-in-chief, Donald Trump. So we are here to say not one more dime for Donald Trump's ICE operations. They break the law. They lie about it. You know, I remember when they said, they were going to go after what they called the worst of the worst. They lied. They're going after moms taking their kids to school. They're going after dads bringing their kids home from their after-school activities. They're going after pastors on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. They're going after small business owners in Frederick, Maryland, and all over the country. They're going after people who have become community leaders, people who are loved and beloved and respected by people in their communities. ICE's own data show that more than 80% of the people they're rounding up pose no public threat, and you know what they did? They decided to get rid of the data. So in addition to breaking the laws, in addition to lying, now we see ICE killing a 37-year-old mom of 3 kids in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we are here to say, not in our country. We will not let this continue to happen. And we could all see that video with our own eyes. Put your hands up if you saw that video. We could see exactly what happened with our own eyes. And yet you have Kristi Noem and the vice president and the president trying to gaslight the country, trying to tell people that their own eyes are lying to them. Well, our eyes are not lying to them. What happened was inexcusable, and they need to stop lying about it, and we need to make sure that there's an independent investigation by the state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Just like in each of these cases, we need independent investigations because we're so sorry, but the reality is we cannot trust our own Department of Justice anymore under Pam Bondi. So we're in a hell of a situation. That's why it's important that you're all here, and it's important why you have independent investigations. I can give you an example from my state of Maryland. A few weeks ago on Christmas Eve, there was a vehicle ramming and a shooting. And ICE and the DHS put out their own version of events. Well, then the Anne Arundel County Police conducted their own investigation. And surprise, surprise, it turned out that DHS lied through their teeth, and they had to reverse that statement because of the independent investigation. This is why we can no longer, sadly, trust the federal agencies to conduct these investigations. Imagine what would have happened in Minneapolis in Renee Good's case if there had been no video. This is why we want every person in law enforcement, whether they're local police who have cameras or federal law enforcement agencies, they should all be wearing cameras so that we can see exactly what has happened. You know, myself and my office have been working with a mom from the state of Maryland. She lived here 20 years. She has 4 kids. She was snatched off the streets by ICE a couple weeks ago. She asked to be released, to be able to visit with her 15-year-old son who was dying of cancer.
Oh, damn.
They said no.
Fuck.
Shame.
Heartless motherfucker.
They said no. He died the next day. Her son died the next day without being able to say goodbye to his mom, and his mom unable to say goodbye to him. That is the lack of humanity. That is the lack of basic human decency that we're seeing from this administration. And that is why you're all out here. We are now working very hard to make sure that this mom at least is released to go to her son's memorial service. Can we do that together? As Ezra said, you know, this has been going on for way too long, since the earliest days of the Trump administration. And I do remember when I got word that a man by the name of Kilmar Abrego Garcia had been snatched off the streets of Maryland and taken from his wife and kids and deposited in a gulag in El Salvador, in violation of his constitutional and due process rights. And it's very true, as Ezra said, there are a lot of folks who said, well, let's not worry about that. But you're all here because you worry about protecting our Constitution. And you worry about protecting our democracy. And that is why I went down there, to make sure that he was alive and that he could come back, and at least, you know what melts under heat? Yeah. Ice melts under heat. So no more funding for the Trump administration's lawless ICE operation. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Are we in this together?
Yeah.
Thank you, patriots all.
I gotta stop this for just a second.
ICE out for good. ICE out for good.
If you haven't seen it yet.
Christy Nome. Oh, Christy Nome is a bird-legged hoe. That hoe has got to go. Christy Nome is a bird-legged hoe. Come on. Christy Nome is a bird-legged hoe. Hey. Christy Nome is a bird-legged hoe. That hoe has got to go. Christy Nome. Kosh Patel is a bug-eyed twit. Kosh Patel is a bug-eyed twit. Kosh Patel is a bug-eyed twit. That twit has got to split. Pam Bondi is a lizard-legged twat. Pam Bondi is a lizard-legged twat. Pam Bondi is a lizard-legged twat. That twat's gotta be stopped. Christy Gnome is a bird-legged hoe. Christy Gnome is a bird-legged hoe. Christy Gnome is a bird-legged hoe. That hoe has got to go.
Sorry, I just had to.
Oh, that's great.
ICE out for good.
Since that they are embattled. They are terrified of us. They are terrified of our whistles. Can I hear those whistles? They're terrified of our organizing. They are terrified that we are going to understand something central to this moment, that there are more of us than there are of them.
There's more of this than there are of them.
And we can show up at a rally like this, but we need allies. We need allies in Congress who are actually going to fight. Yeah. And I want to hear from one of those allies in the Senate right now. Are y'all here? Senator Markey, can you come talk to us about the current moment?
They don't have the numbers.
They don't.
And thank you all for being here. Because last week,
Doug does it better.
ICE thug killed Renee Nicole Good, a 37-year-old mother of 3 in Minneapolis. She should be alive today and with her children today. Renee
Nicole Good was murdered, plain and simple. And this deadly tragedy is yet another example of law enforcement's excessive use of force. It is yet another example of ICE's lawlessness. It is more evidence that ICE is hurting rather than protecting our communities. President Trump, Vice President Vance, Secretary Noem have all peddled lies about Renee and about the shooting in blatant contradiction of what Americans have seen with their own eyes. This is gaslighting on steroids. It is disgusting. Last week, J.D. Vance said that the ICE thug was just doing his job, murdering a young mother and orphaning her child is not a job. It is a crime. Just yesterday, Trump blamed Renee for her own murder due to her alleged disrespect. When mass federal agents can shoot and kill anyone with impunity solely because their egos are bruised, we must demand accountability. This administration has proved time and time again that it is only interested in vengeance, that it lies, and that it lacks all humanity. Today, 6 federal prosecutors resigned because the Department of Justice wants to investigate Renee's widow rather than Renee's killer. That is a department of injustice. So we must be for a reckoning for Renee and for all victims who have had their rights violated and their lives brutally taken by the reckless and inhumane actions of the Trump administration. ICE has become the criminals they say they are supposed to be catching.
Yep, they are the criminals.
Yes, and they are.
And that is why we must end qualified immunity, which shields law enforcement officers from liability for murder and other wrongdoing.
Sorry.
In 2020, I introduced with Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley a bill to do just that in response to the murder of George Floyd. Now, just 5 years later, Renee was murdered mere blocks from where the police murdered George Floyd. Today, I introduce with, again, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, legislation that abolishes qualified immunity, that shields federal law enforcement officers from accountability and gives victims the power to sue. We need a thorough, impartial investigation of Renee Good's murder. We must stop funding DHS and ICE thugs, and we must demand that ICE leave Minneapolis and other communities to prevent further escalation and tragic deaths. I will not rest. I will not rest until justice is achieved. I will not rest until our communities feel protected. I will not rest until the truth what happened in Minneapolis comes to light. I thank all of you for everything that you are doing to bring justice for Renee Good.
Well, I said if these guys cash the check, they're guilty. That's your name? That's your signature? Come here.
Y'all, we're here to remember Renee Good, but nobody here is under the illusion that Renee Good is the only victim of this lawless regime, right? She just dropped off her kid before they shot her. Mere weeks before that, Silverio Villegas Gonzalez had just dropped off his kid at school when ICE killed him. 2025 was the year that we saw the most people under ICE custody killed by ICE since its founding in over 2 decades. They attack immigrants because they think we're not going to stand up in defense of our neighbors. They attack immigrants as a prelude to attacking all of us. Are we going to treat an attack on one like an attack on all? Are we going to show up in defense of fellow Americans who are being threatened by this regime? You're damn right we are. I'm pleased to be able to introduce Nadia Salazar from Movimiento Migrante, DC. Right here.
Thank you. Peace, everyone. My name is Nadia. I'm co-founder and organizer of Movimiento Migrante DC. I'm also senior campaigns manager of the DC Fiscal Policy Institute, and I'm a very proud Bolivian immigrant. We're here to mourn, to remember, to know Renee Nicole Good. She was part of our community. She was like you and me. She was a mother that had babies at home waiting for a bedtime story, a daughter with a mom waiting on a daily call, a poet with pieces to still showcase, a wife who had a love waiting for her to bask in, a brave community member who cared for her neighbors and protected them like you do. Renee was doing what we all should be doing, caring for her neighbors and showing up in a time where they're disappearing to a well-oiled deportation machine. Renee's life was taken by an ICE agent who with impunity took her life and prevented medical care to get to her. She deserved to go home to her family. She deserved to celebrate birthdays with her family. She deserved to celebrate holidays. She deserved to see her babies and raise them. She was supposed to be here. It's so telling of where we are when her life was taken less than a mile away from where George Floyd's life was taken, to the same state-sanctioned violence that we're here to stop. Today, I stand here before you to scream, ICE out for good.
ICE out for good.
ICE out of our elementary schools, ICE out of our hospitals, ICE out of our metro stops, our neighborhoods, and our lives. We ask for an ultimate end to this occupation from Gaza to Washington, D.C. We ask for the militarized forces who brought nothing but anguish and fear to leave. We ask for politicians to choose families over feds. I stand here as a parent and wonder what world we're shaping for Luna. I stand here wondering how many mass monsters, how do they sleep at night knowing how many families they've ripped apart, how many families they've separated, and how many people they've shot, how many people they've disappeared. This is a fascist regime. We live in a time where our Black neighbors have been disproportionately targeted by a racist judicial system, where we see the same apparatus targeting immigrant communities with the same impunity it has operated with since its inception. After all, this land of the free and home of the brave was built on nothing but genocide and forced labor and kidnappings. After all, America is really living up to its name that many marginalized nations call it, the Yankee Empire. After all, it is the U.S. that exported ideas of private prisons and criminalization of bodies for profit, which led to the creation of damn near concentration camps like Secot, where some of our neighbors are ending up at.
Oh, yeah.
Today we recommit to rejecting systems and politicians that capitalize from our bodies and our lands and sell us to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
Today we remember that we'll seek justice for this tragedy. Today is about Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. Today is about Keith Porter. Today is about ending these killings. Today is about Mr. Brown, who was shot multiple times by HSI agents on Benning Road. It's about the over 25 people who died in ICE custody since this administration began. Today is about seeking justice. As someone who's been taken before by the state for exercising my First Amendment rights on Trump 1.0, I know the whole damn system is complicit and guilty as hell. We denounce this violence. We denounce ICE in our communities. We ask justice for Renee Nicole Good, Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, Keith Porter, Mr. Brown, and all the victims and survivors of state-sanctioned violence. We ask for ICE to leave our communities now.
ICE out
Today,
now.
ICE out for good.
ICE out for good.
Today is about safety, which is brought by many of us in this community. To us, safety is clearly defined. Safety is children going to school without the fear of returning to an empty home. Safety is a mom showing up for her migrant neighbors, knowing she will return home to her babies without the threat or violence or death. Safety is investing in our communities and not putting a damn penny in the Department of Homeland Security. Safety is investing in us, not our surveillance or disappearance. It is protecting families, not feds. Today is about safety because safety is ICE out for good. A mi comunidad migrante, estamos aquí, los vemos, estamos unidos, estamos fuertes y no nos vamos. Thank you.
Chinga la migra. Hey, Al, was that a ukulele?
Yo, we've been saying ICE out for good. I think we want ICE out for good. And that's a slogan. That's a chant. That's something we all say. Can we nerd out a little bit about how we get ICE out for good? Because there's actually something we can do right now. We can do more than just chant. We can demand our elected officials act, and not just act with symbolic gestures. I like a symbolic gesture as much as the next guy. I like chants. I like outrage from my elected officials. But you know what I really like?
I didn't know.
I like it when they vote against one damn penny for ICE, which they have the power to do this month. This month, y'all. They're running out of money. This agency's running out of money. They're going to come back to Congress, to your Democratic elected officials, and they're going to say, hey, we need a little bit more cash, buddy. We got to go murder a few more Americans. Can you spare a couple $2 billion? Can we spare a couple $1 billion? Can we spare 2 cents? Go fuck yourself. Not one more dime.
Not one more dime.
But the way we get there is by demanding our elected officials take those votes. It is not currently the unified Democratic position that ICE should be cut. That is not yet the position. How do we get them there? We organize. We organize. We organize. Who here lives in D.C.? I'm sorry, you don't have a senator or representative who has a vote because D.C.'s been denied representation.
They're in front of the Customs and Border.
Boo, indeed.
In D.C.
Now, earlier this year, last year, Free D.C. Am I hearing Free D.C.? Am I hearing Free D.C.? Free D.C. Did y'all know who I had to introduce next? Kaya Chatterjee from Free D.C. Last year, when this regime was occupying D.C., what did Free D.C. do? They organized. They organized. Join me in welcoming Kaya up.
So evening, everyone. My name is Kaya Chatterjee. I'm the executive director of Free DC. And as we gather here tonight, this is the 6th month of military occupation of our capital. And you know what they wanted to do by occupying our capital with the military? They wanted to suppress dissent. They wanted to make it so we'd be too afraid to come out. Is that what we did? We are out here and we are still defiant. It's been 6 months of having the military walk around. It's been 6 months of having this surge of federal forces raiding our high school football games, kidnapping our neighbors out of their beds in the middle of the night, violating our rights, and we are still out here defiant.
You're still here.
It's been a year, And depending on how you count it, it's been decades or longer that Congress has been attacking DC. And I want to reveal to people here tonight who don't know, they are trying to remove due process in DC. Congress is doing that. The House has passed bills to do that because they want to suppress dissent, because they want to prevent a transfer of power, because they want to continue this cruelty forever. Are we going to let them do that?
No.
So we in DC are very clear. We are not going to stand idly by while people are being attacked. Nadia mentioned Philip Brown. I just want to add a little to that story. He went out to get milk for his kids. He went out to get milk for his kids. He was driving on Bennett Road. He went out to get milk. He came home with a bullet hole in his collar. And the amazing overreach here is happening because of a lack of any kind of oversight. It is up to us at this point because there's no oversight. Dozens of people are dying in ICE custody. And I want to just take a minute and just bear with me because I want to take a minute and talk about this building behind us, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, the CBP. And I want to make it clear to you all how much things are out of control inside this building. There is nobody anymore working in internal affairs. Almost a year ago, the executive director of the Investigative Operations Division was fired. That was the first thing that happened a year ago. What else happened a year ago, right? Then 6 months ago, right when the occupation of DC began, the assistant commissioner was forced out of that same office. And then in December, just a few weeks ago, the deputy assistant commissioner was pushed out. So right now, no one, literally no one in this building is in charge of internal affairs. There are agents running around, killing people, shooting at people, and they are not even pretending that there's anybody in charge of making that stop. And how many people here have worked for the federal government, have been a civil service? We know that every agency is supposed to have some internal oversight. That is gone. It's just gone. And so we cannot have any illusions right now that this FBI or this Department of Justice or this Customs and Border Patrol will do anything to seek out justice. What we have to demand is that we just cut the funding for all of it. Yes. And I don't have any illusions that this is going to happen tomorrow, that all these, these thugs are going to come off our streets, but I do fundamentally believe that it will happen and that it will get better and we will win. But it is going to take work. It's going to take folks like you coming out on a cold, dark night in January, which is amazing. It's going to mean that we have to use our power. Yes, we have to push our elected officials. But here in DC, we don't even have voting elected officials. So we have to use all the power we have.
I don't think it's a coincidence that they're
we have to use our power as jurors. We have to use our power as taxpayers.
They're surging more ICE agents in January, in winter. I don't think it's a coincidence at all.
And I want to invite everyone here to start to use that power. In 1 week from today, instead of gathering at 5 p.m. after work, we're asking you to leave work, to join us right over there on the corner at 14th and Constitution and join us at 2 p.m. Because they need to start understanding that we will not let this go on forever. Eventually, we will stop working. We will stop buying. We will stop doing all of the things that they rely on us to do if they don't stop. So who's with me? Who's going to come out next Tuesday at 2 p.m.? Who's going to leave work? Who's going to show them we are going to shut shit down if they keep attacking us? That we are going to win. We are going to win because we are not going to let them attack us. We are going to shut things down. And if they are going to attack us, we are going to respond. Free DC!
Free DC!
Free DC!
Free DC!
Free DC!
Free DC!
Free DC! Free DC! Free DC! A senator wanted to join us. She could not join us, but Senator from Minnesota, Tina Smith, passed on a message. I do want to read this message because Tina Smith has been a real leader in the response to this. She says, "This is personal to me. Renee was shot and killed by ICE agents in a neighborhood that is only a few miles from where I live. Everybody should be safe no matter where they live. And yet this woman who was only trying to take care of her neighbors was shot and killed by federal agents. I've heard reports of tear gas and pepper spray being deployed at K through 12 schools, daycares, requiring parents to take shifts in the parking lot to watch out for ICE. U.S. citizens avoiding leaving their homes out of fear of being racially profiled. A 16-year-old girl was approached by ICE carrying their giant militarized guns when she was just trying to go to soccer practice.
I like your avatar.
It's thanks to people like you, she's speaking to y'all, that we all saw what happened. No matter how hard this administration tries to get us not to believe what we see with our own two eyes, it's not lost upon me that without that video, we would be in a much different place. We not only saw what happened to Renee, but also the immediate aftermath when a physician in the neighborhood attempted to get Renee to see if she could be saved. He was pushed away by ICE agents.
Yep.
We know that ambulance came immediately to the scene to see if they could get her to the hospital, but they literally had to walk a block to get
I saw
to her.
that, Chantal. It's just,
and yet Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Kristi Noem and their
word.
ferocious following of keyboard warriors within hours of the shooting, without even knowing Renee's name, branded her a domestic terrorist.
That woman is what J.D. Vance called
Perhaps
her.
the only piece of optimism that keeps me going is the fact that I see so many of you standing up to show that this is not who we are, that we can make this country better, and that we stand for justice and accountability. They have underestimated the strength and resilience of Minnesotans. Bet your ass they have. That's my editorial. Our power is in our unity. It is in the peace that we bring to this discussion. It is in our determination and our resilience. Thank you for the work you all do every day. We feel the support in Minnesota, and we'll keep looking out for our neighbors. Tina Smith, everybody. Senator Tina Smith.
No shit, Mac.
The horns are here. We've done a lot of chanting. I'm going to try something chancy.
Chancy.
I love a good chant. I'm not a singer. Are y'all going to help me with this? Remember Renee sparkled? Remember Renee was made of sunshine?
Yes. Remember Renee? She had light and goodness.
I'm really not a singer, y'all. Everybody's got to help
Be
me out.
good.
This little light of mine.
Aw.
I'm going to let it
shine.
This little light of mine.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh.
Everywhere I go,
I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Woo!
That's about as much as I can do. Thank you all. Side note, Spotify, after months of running recruitment ads for ICE, in between listening to Rage Against the Machine, you would hear a recruitment ad, come and join ICE. They got a little pressure over the last several months, and you know what they're not doing anymore? Those damn ads aren't on Spotify anymore. Pressure works, folks. Pressure works. Y'all, at the end of this month, we're going to see where Congress stands. And one of the best things I saw in the week after this horrific tragedy
was a Republican member of Congress stand up and say, they just need to stop protesting. I gotta be honest. I love seeing that. Just seeing him plaintively just look at the camera. They just need to stop protesting. Are we going to stop protesting?
No, hell no.
They want us to be quiet. Are we going to be quiet?
No, hell no.
They want us to just sit on by while our Democratic electeds vote for more ICE funding. Are we going to sit on by while that happens?
Hell no.
Are we going to fight for this country?
Yeah.
Are we going to fight for our neighbors?
Yeah.
How many kings?
No kings.
How many kings?
No kings.
How many kings?
No kings.
Damn right. Okay, now I do want to do some chants. They call this a filibuster in the Senate. Here they call it organizing. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it once, say it twice. We will not put up with ICE. No justice, no peace. Get ICE off of our streets. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These fascists have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
Okay. Or my personal favorite chant. Let's do this. I'm gonna stop the stream. I think they're pretty much done there. I've got to hop back onto some of my own commitments. So let's play this one more time. Thank you, Al, for joining me. Thanks, everybody, for being in the chat or watching. Thanks, Mac, even though you got here late. That's okay. I'm late too.
And you.
and to the Academy.
Are we going to have an award ceremony for the best actor? And we can nominate these assholes?
Uh-oh, I lost the audio again. Just a second. I'll reload it. Damn, I love this. This has got to be one of their best. That's got to go. That hose has got to go. That's got to go.
I've been enjoying the ICE agents from down south that can't handle the ice up north.
Love you guys. Stay safe. And we fight now and always. Fuck these fascists. Peace out.